Good morning, everyone. Respected lecturer, today our group will be presenting a strategic management analysis of Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad for the course BMM 4123 Strategic Management. In this presentation, we will discuss the company's background, analyze its internal and external business environment, evaluate its current strategy, and provide recommendations to enhance its competitiveness and long-term sustainability in the rice milling industry. We hope that this presentation will provide valuable insight into the importance of strategy management in achieving organizational success. Without further ado, let's begin our presentation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. Today I will be presenting the introduction and background of Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad. Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad is a company involved in the rice processing industry in Malaysia. The company is located in Kuala Sanglang, Kedah, which is one of the major rice producing areas in the country. Its main business activity is rice milling, where paddy is processed into rice for consumers. As rice is a staple food for Malaysians, the company plays an important role in supporting the national food supply chain. Through its operations, Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad help ensure the quality rice products are available in the local market. Next, I will explain the background of the company. Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad was established on 1 September 1998 and has been operating in the rice processing industry for many years. The company is located at Lot 2890 Mukim Sanglang, Kuala Sanglang, Kedah. Besides rice milling, the company is also involved in activities related to rice byproducts such as rice husk and husk ash. Being located in one of Malaysia's main paddy growing regions provide the company with easy access to raw materials and support efficient operations. Over the years, the company has contributed to the agriculture sector by transforming paddy into rice products that meet consumer needs.
Now, let's move on to the organizational chart of Evergreen Rice Mill Sendirian Berhad. This chart illustrates the company's management structure and show how each department and position is connected to achieve the organization goal. At the top, the chairman serves as the head of the Safety and Health Committee and is responsible for providing leadership in all workplace safety and health matters. The secretary is responsible for managing the administrative function of the Safety and Health Committee. The safety officer is responsible for ensuring that all workplace activities comply with occupational safety and health requirements. The employee representative acts as a liaison between employees and management on the matters related to the workplace safety and health. The finance manager is responsible for managing the company's financial resources and ensuring that adequate funding is allocated for safety and health programs. Production manager oversees the entire rice milling process and ensures that production activities are carried out efficiently, safely, and according to quality standards. The personnel officer is responsible for managing human resource function within the company. The admin executive provides administrative support to the company and the safety and health committee. The lab officer is responsible for conducting laboratory tests and quality assessment on rice samples to ensure that products meet the company's quality standard. The production supervisor is responsible for overseeing daily production activities and ensuring that employees follow operational and safety procedures. And last, the storekeeper is responsible for managing the storage and inventory of raw material, spare part, tool, and other supplies required for the rice milling operational.
Next, we are moving to the vision, mission, objectives, and motto of Evergreen Rice Mill Company. The vision is to become a leading and sustainable rice milling company in Malaysia by providing high quality rice products while embracing innovation, environmental responsibility, and customer satisfaction. Next, the mission is to supply high quality rice products that meets customer needs and expectation. It is also to maintain strong relationships with local farmers and suppliers across Perlis, Kedah, Perak, and Kelantan. Evergreen trying to connect with nearby farmers so it's easier for them to get supply. The third one is to ensure efficient, safe, and disciplined operation through skilled employees and modern technology. So this company actually use latest technology such as um, shining. They separate the rice between the perfect rice and the broken one. The third one is to strengthen customer trust through certified quality standards, including halal certification. This company just got their certification of halal, and it may attract customer, and it may strengthen the trust. What is the objective? The objective is to increase customer awareness through product sampling and promotional activities. They do some promotes on social media also. The next is improve operational efficiency and workplace discipline. The company right now they become more disciplined because they already got the halal certification, and they try to keep the environment safe for working. Next is expand market presence through existing and future branches. They try to open new branches um, ac- across the Perak, across the Kedah and Perlis. The fourth one is to adopt eco-friendly technologies, including solar energy system. Lately, they've been installing solar energy system, so it's more eco-friendly. The motto of this company is growing together with quality and trust.
Hello, good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adejumo Mustafa Olawale. I'm here to present my topic about the about our presentation that the rice company, the rice company my fellow colleagues went through. Here I'm going to present about the Porter five forces from the key point from the buyer's power moderate. The buyer power if you look at the buyer power moderate is too high because the buyers have many rice suppliers to choose from and can easily compare price, quality, reliability. Evergreen rice mill must maintain competitive pricing and consistent product quality to retain customers. These are the procedure they are going to follow. And also, what are the impact they make? The impact they make in maintaining competitive pricing. Their price should be what should be competitive, not too high, and also ensure consistent product quality to give quality product to their customers, and also to give to build strong relationship with their customers. Moving to the next slide. Moving to the next slide, we look at the suppliers power high. The suppliers power high is very level because the company relies on paddy suppliers for raw materials. Factors such as weather conditions and harvest yield affect paddy availability and price, making strong suppliers relationship essential. And if you look at this by impact on the impact made by Evergreen Rice Mill is develop strong supplier relationship between their customer, between their supplier, and also secure reliable paddy sources, and also reduce risks of production so as not to cause disruption. Moving to the next slide is the threat of substitute. One of the threat of substitute, we know that the threat of substitute is what is moderate. With the alternative product by which they produce bread, noodles, potatoes, and other carbohydrate food. And also what the customer can switch. This will be easy for the customer to switch from alternative food such as bread, noodles, potatoes, and however, rice still maintain remains the main staple food in Malaysia, limiting the impact of substitute product. Moving to the next slide is also the threat of new entrants. The threat of new entrants, if you look at it, the impact is low because the barriers of entry is what is high capital. The barriers of entry is high capital investment, strict food safety regulations, and the need for supplier and customer network, which creates significant barriers to entry to enter for a what for new competitors. It will give them it will this is one of the barriers that gives a problem to new competitors. Moving to the next slide is the industry rivalry in this what in this product kind of business. We know that it will be surely high because sources of this competition. We know that we have a lot of a lot of rice industry which are producing rice because the competitors is intense to many rice producers offering similar products. Companies compete through price, quality, efficiency, and distribution, which imported rice and rising costs further increasing rivalry. Okay.
Welcome, guys. So, moving on with our presentation, whereby we're going to discuss about the pestle analysis. We are talking about the pestle analysis. So, pestle analysis is like the pestle is like an acronym whereby the PESCEL they have their own meaning. So, and the factors they are the factors whereby a strategic framework used by organizations to track the external macro environmental factors that impact their industry. So we want to discuss about the macro environmental factors that impact the uh, evergreen rice mill business. So our company. Now let's dive deeper into the pastel, like whereby the as I said earlier that the pastel stands like an acronym. The P stand for the political, E stand for economic, S stand for sociological, T stand for technological, E stand for environmental, and the last one, which is L, stand for the legal. Now let's take it one after the other. When we're discussing about the political and economic factors, whereby the factors that the evergreen rice mill were facing politically. So let's take it one after the other. When we're discussing about the political factors, so whereby the political factors refer to how government policies in Malaysia, so how it affects the evergreen rice mill. So how the government policy affects the evergreen rice mill Berhad in Malaysia. Now, the first one is that government policies on agriculture, food security, and rice trade affect operations. So it affects their operations one after the other. So, and then the second one is that subsidies and support programs for paddy farmers improve raw material supply. So, whereby the subsidies that happens like whenever the subsidies happen, so it's breeds like a support programs for paddy farmers for and improvement of their rice production. And another one is that collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture ensures compliance and industry support. So the collaboration of the company, whereby the Evergreen company, the Evergreen Rice Company, the collaboration of them with the Ministry of Agriculture. So it breeds and makes the and ensures that they are ensures the compliance and industry support, whereby they were supporting them in a place or another. And another one is that political stability supports long-term business planning. So, whereby the political stability, also the stabilization of the political, where the government policies, so it supports long-term business planning that arose or that are in the in Evergreen rice mill. And the last one is trade agreements and tariffs influence export opportunities. So the trade, the government decisions on trade and export can affect the company's opportunities in international, even in international trades, because there are the trade agreements between them and the tariffs, so that they were given to the government. So it influenced export opportunities, and then the moving on to the economic factors. We were discussing about the economic factors. So this is the economic growth, or let's say economic factors are related to the country's financial, like let's say country financial condition. So we were discussing about the country's financial country condition. So that's for the economic factors. How is it affect the evergreen rice mill? So the economic growth and household income affect rice consumption patterns. So it affects the rice consumption pattern, and then the inflation impacts cost of body, labor, transportation, and energy. So, for instance, the inflation that arose, like whenever the inflation arises in the country, so it impacts itself to the cost of paddy, whereby the cost of paddy is going to rise. Likewise, the labor, either the either the capital labor or the human labor, also is going to be high due to the inflation. And transportation also, the fuel, the petrol and everything, the diesel, and also the energy that were or the energy that is inside this business that we're doing. So, and another one is that the global rice prices influence competitiveness in local and export markets. So there is some competitiveness between the local and the export markets. So whereby when bought in wholesale or retails, there are going to be like competitiveness, because when the wholesalers they were selling, the customers also they are, sorry, the producers also, they will be demanding in selling or supplying for others. So there would be like some competitiveness between them. And also the exchange rate fluctuations affect export revenues and profit margins. So the last one is cost optimization is essential for maintaining affordability and profitability. So all these are affecting the economic factors of the growth and the of the growth of the evergreen rice company. Now, continuation with our question analysis. So let's move on into the socio-cultural and technological factors. We are talking about the socio-cultural and technological factors. Uh, let's take it from the socio-cultural factors. For the first one, which is socio-cultural factors or sociological factors, is the same. So it is like the factors refer the factors uh, that refers to people's lifestyle, the cultural, the traditions, and preferences. So, and some effects that we are going to teach, like some factors here, is that the first one is rice remains a staple food in Malaysia culture. Since rice remains a staple food, whereby it is very common, like it is a demandable food in Malaysia. So the growing demand, which is the second one, the growing demand for healthy, organic, and premium rice products. So whereby the high demand of it is like the demand remains very high, because Malaysia is the food that is very staple in Malaysia and is very common among the youth, among the citizens in Malaysia. So, and then the third one is that urban lifestyles increase demand for the convenient packaged rice. So, the urban lifestyle, whereby there is difference between the rural and the urban. Though the rural, they are the one that were producing, or sorry, they are the one that were producing and uh, they are the one that were producing the rice. But for the urban, Despite that, the rural, they are the one that were producing it, and they are the one that owns it most. So the urban also, like their lifestyles, they also used to eating this rice, and it increased the demand for the convenient packaged rice in the urban also. So another one is that branding, packaging, and product origin influence purchasing decisions. So whereby they are going to packaging it, how they were packaging it, the branding and the package of this rice. So it makes the product origin influence purchasing decisions to the citizen of Malaysia. And the last one is that festivals and cultural events create seasonal demand for rice products. For instance, maybe in Hari Raya, in the any program or any cultural events that they want to do. So they used to uh cater for this rice in anything in this rice product. That's what they used to eat in any cultural or any event or any festival activities that was carried out in Malaysia. Now, moving on to the technological factors, when we're talking about the technological factors, so this is going to teach us about how the technology helps evergreen rice mill improve efficiency and the product quality. So now the first one is that the modern milling and automated sorting improve efficiency and what and quality. So that's the first one, as I said earlier. And the second one is that advanced packaging technology ensures that product ensures product consistency. That's the second one. And the third one is that digital marketing and e-commerce expand customer reach. So the digital marketing, whereby the advertisements and everything that they were doing, so is expand the customer reach. So the customer are coming to them, uh whereby they were demanding for what for this rice from the evergreen rice mill. And another one is that data analytics help understand consumer behavior. So the data analytics that the evergreen rice mill that they have, it makes them understand the consumer behavior. It makes them understand the consumer wants, and makes them understand the consumer opportunities also. The last one is that sustainable technologies reduce waste and opportunity cost, operating costs. Sorry. So these are the technological factors whereby the digital marketing and online sales, as we said earlier. So the online sales platforms help the company reach more customers, and also there are sustainable technologies reduce the waste and the operating costs. Now, moving on to the environmental and legal factors. For the environmental factors, the first one is that sustainable farming and water management are increasingly important. So, because the environmental factors focus on sustainability and protecting natural resources. So, like the rice production depends heavily on weather and water availability. So, whereby the climate, which is the second one, that the climate change can affect paddy production and supply stability. So the third one is that focus on reducing carbon emissions and waste generation. So that's among the factors that affects the evergreen rice meal production. So and then another one is that eco-friendly packaging supports sustainability and goals. So it supports their goals and sustainability, and also environmental responsibility enhances corporate reputations. So that's for the environmental factors. And for the legal factors, this involves the laws and the regulations that the company must follow, like the law and the regulations that uh, the evergreen rice mill were following in the compliances that they need to follow, the rules and regulations of their company, or the rules of regulations of the ministry that they need to follow in Malaysia. So now the first one is that compliance with Food Act, food regulations, and ISO standards. So that's the first one. Like the compliance, they abide by the rules of the Food Act in Malaysia Constitution, and also the food regulations and ISO standards. So also the second one is that labor laws and workplace safety regulations govern operations. So the third one is that product labeling and trade regulations affect market access. So it affects the market access when we're talking about the product labeling. So, and then another one is that regular audits and certifications renewals ensure compliance strong ensure compliance. So the regular audits and certification, like from uh the standards that they were using, like for instance maybe ISO, which is the one that is like the IOFI. So they are the same. So the ISO is for the addition. So the regular audits and certification renewal ensure the compliance. So they ensure that those certificates that they were using are the certificate that is up to date. So and then the last one is strong legal compliance builds consumer trust and business credibility. So that's all for the pestle analysis. Now let's discuss about the key implications for evergreen rice mill. So now, what we're going to discuss is that what are the opportunities of the pestle that we discussed and the challenges that they were facing through the pestle that we discussed before, the acronym that we discussed. So the opportunities is that government support for agriculture and technology adoption, as we said earlier. And the second one is that growing demand for healthy and premium rice products. So they were demanding for it, both for the urban and the rural, so, and then in Malaysia. And then another one is the expansion through digital marketing and export markets, whereby the advertisement and the way that all the customers are demanding for it, and also the export markets, how they were exporting it. So there are some opportunities that the evergreen rice mill were getting with that. And the last one is that sustainable practices strengthening brand image. So there are sustainable practices that they were practicing it. So in a sustainability way. So it's strengthening their brand image, whereby in everywhere the customers know them and they were buying from them both in wholesales and retails. And then the challenges that they were facing the challenges that the evergreen rice were facing, the evergreen rice mill. The first one is that the climate change and environmental risks. That's the first one. So there are some climate change, for instance, maybe sometimes there will be a raining, and the rain is going to cause like some flood and everything into the rice germination or the rice production. So likewise, the environmental risks. And the second one is that rising production and transportation costs due to, for instance, maybe for the problem of inflation or inflation in the petrol and everything. So this causes like the costs. It's caused an high the rising cost of the production and transportation. So and then third one is currency fluctuations affecting exports. So the currency fluctuations, for instance, to another countries. So it affects the exports of these rice meal. And the last one is increasing legal and regulatory requirements. So the legal and regulatory requirements by, for instance, maybe from the government policies or the from the ISO policies. So it leads to like some the increasements in these requirements. So this leads to like some challenges that they were facing in the company.
The next is SWOT analysis. Number one is strength. Strong workplace rules, good safety practices, and organized working environment support efficient operation. Number two is weakness. Heavy dependence on machinery and maintenance costs may affect production efficiency. Number three is opportunities. Growing rice demand, technological advancement, and government support provide opportunities for business expansion. Number four, threat. Paddy supply issues, rising operational costs, and market competition may impact company performance.
Yeah. If you look at the two metric is what is SOA. The two metric is what starting from the SO, which is strengths and opportunities. It uses leverage strong management practices, work practice regulations, and a safe working environment to adopt modern mining technologies, utilize government support programs, and meet the increasing demand for high quality rice products. And also we move on to the WHO, which is WHO is the weakness opportunities. Address operation weaknesses by investing in advanced machinery and employee training programs, reducing equipment breakdowns, improving workforce skills, and enhancing productivity and product quality. Next, we move on to the ST, which is the strength traits. Traits. The strength traits is what used. Looking at the strength traits is what use structure management system and strong safety standards to maintain consistent product quality, improve operational efficiency, reduce costs, and remain competitive against rival mills and imported rice product. Moving to the what? To WT, which is the weakness threat. Weakness threat is what? Weakness threat is minimize risk through regular equipment maintenance, effective management, continuous employee, which is the workforce skills, continuous employee development to ensure stable operations, reduce disruption, and support long-term business sustainability. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Jazakumullah khairan.
Okay, let's move to the competitive advantage strategies. What is a strategy the Evergreen Rice Mill Company use to attract customer? The first one is cost leadership strategy. They offer rice product at competitive and affordable prices. They try to control the price. They try to control the price between season. If it's a season of rice, they try to control it more good. It is also to attract new customer while retaining the existing one. They gain new customer and they also have the old customer that always buy from them. The third one is maintains profitability through efficient cost management and operation. They try to do work more efficient with using the management and operation makes a good operation. The second one is product quality and certification strategy. Ensures consistent rice quality through proper processing and quality control. This is what we say. They have a few technology like they separate the good rice and the bad ones, and they also shine the rice. The process, they try to control the process more efficient. The second one is threaten customer trust through halal certification and quality assurance. Now they have a halal certification. It is more trusted than when they didn't have the certificate. Enhances brand reputation and encourages repeat purchases. This is the certification strategy where when customer knows that this evergreen rice mill is having halal certification, it is more trusted and customer will buy from them more often. The third one is strong supplier network strategy. Sources paddy from multiple states, including Perlis, Kedah, Perak, and Kelantan. They are going. They are going to collect rice from the nearby country. Build long relationship with local farmer and supplier. They try to get supply from the supplier that they always get. Ensures a stable supply of raw materials and supports continuous production. That's all.
In conclusion, Evergreen Rice Mill Sdn Berhad is an important company in Malaysian rice industry. The company contributes significantly to the processing and supply of rice, which is a staple food for the population. Its strategic location in Kuala Sanglang allow it to operate effectively effectively within a major agriculture region. In addition, the company support food security, creates economic opportunities and strengthens the agriculture supply chain. Therefore, Evergreen Rice Mill Sdn Bhd continues to play a vital role in supporting Malaysia's agriculture and food industry.